You want to be able to come home from the grocery store without amount of plastics and packaging trailing in the door behind you. But every time you do come home, that's what happens. It's just plastic packaging and more packaging and all the fucking packaging that doesn't need to exist. And I do get it, because sometimes you can't get out of that packaging. You need food. You need to have food to eat. It's a requirement to live. And majority of the places of grocery stores have it all packaged in plastic. But there are a few things that we can do to at least reduce the amount of plastic that comes into only what has to be absolutely necessary to be able to eat. So one of the biggest things you want to do is you want to reduce your individual packaging once. So for example, when you were a kid, you would get like Kool-Aid and you'd have all the little Kool-Aid packets, and that's how you ate Kool-Aid. However, there are other ways you could have gotten Kool-Aid. You could have gotten them in the big giant jug of Kool-Aid that was already made, or you could have gotten like a big plastic container with all the powder that you just like teaspooned out. So you're going to do the same thing with what you buy now that are individually packaged items. You're going to avoid the little packets, and you're going to get the other options that exist that will allow you to still get the item if you so wish, but without all of the packaging. So for example, I did this with my life. We got some lemonade, and usually get lemonade packets, but I found the little plastic container with lemonade powder that you just put in your own spoonfuls of, which was better for us because then we could make it per glass instead of putting a bunch of it in the fridge, because our fridge was very full at the moment with me and my friend and my other roommate. So that's one of the things where it's like, okay, here's this little paper plastic packaging that's not recyclable in any way. It's going to go in the trash, and you have a whole bunch of them because it's single-use items. So that's going to create a lot of packaging waste that you don't necessarily need, when you can buy a plastic bottle, hard plastic bottle of lemonade, which at least can be recycled, or you can buy a container of powder so you can make it when you want, and still the packaging can be at least recycled, if not reused. Another example of individual packaging containers that you want to kind of get rid of is yogurt containers. You don't want the individual ones. You don't want the squeegee ones for the kids kind of thing. You want get one of the bigger tubs ones, so at least you are limiting the packaging you get, so it's only one packaging instead of a whole bunch of them. And those bigger plastic ones are more likely to be recyclable or reusable than the individual ones. So that's a good way that you can reduce your waste from grocery shopping without getting rid of food that you need to eat and you need to function.